Yes, you are.
Hello, folks, and what is that called? Facebook.
Facebook.
Hi, guys. We have some technical difficulties. I'm going to talk a little louder. We have to get our microphone working. We got a good show set up. As soon as I get organized here. Little technical difficulties on our end. Not Mike, the engineer's fault. This is, I don't know whose fault either.
I'll take the blame.
All right, the producer didn't have the right battery for the microphone. Hopefully you can hear us, because we got a good demonstration later on of our new therapy dog.
20 seconds.
Not service dogs. We're going to talk about all of that stuff. So Ashley's around, a little discombobulated.
7.
Go on live in 10 minutes.
In 5, 4, 3.
Welcome to the Dish on Dogs. I'm your host, Mike Gould. I'm going to speak a little louder than normal because we're on Facebook Live, the Dish on Dog. We broadcast live Monday nights at 8 p.m. And if you're on Facebook, you can watch us because we're going to do an interesting demonstration, I hope, during our 7-minute segment. So yeah, I'm your host, Mike Gould. You're listening to the Dish on Dogs. For those of you who don't know me, I am the founder of Hounds Town USA. Hounds Town USA is home to the happiest dogs on earth. Hounds Town USA, since our inception, we're taking care of almost 1.5 million dogs. Isn't that incredible? I'm joined here by our producer, the lovely Danielle Janice. Janice. She's saying hi to everybody. Come on in, Ashley. Ashley's, I don't know.
I was waiting for the announcement to start.
Oh, I see. It's all right. This is a mess today, folks. We, been running around like crazy. We were off last week. We're going to talk about everything we've done. In the next segment, we're going to talk about heat, the problems that heat brings to dogs. So here's our good friend. For those of you who are watching on Facebook, you can see Ashley just.
Hi, everybody.
And for those of you listening, Ashley is better known as the professor at Hounds Town USA. She takes care of our dog management stuff, and she's going to do a little demonstration with Danielle later on to show you the simplicity of dog management. Dog management, it's simple. So I have to plug my places. The Hounds Town USA. We have how many? 24 locations. I think in 7 states. 7 online. So anyway, we got a bunch of them. We got a bunch of locations, and actually Ashley and I and what Hounds Town is, folks, it's a fully interactive pet care facility. That means we group dogs by size, age, and temperament and personality, and we put them in groups, and they play all day long. They interact. We do not discriminate. We let German Shepherds, Pit Bulls, Dobermans, all the things that your insurance company, all the dogs your insurance company don't allow you to have, they can come and hump, jump, and dump at Hounds Town USA. A lot I'm noticing, actually, so let's talk, Ashley, tell everybody where were we last week?
Oh, we went a little bit of everywhere. So we started off in Detroit. At that point, we went to Orlando, Atlanta, and Nashville within, I'd probably say 4 or 5 days, all those locations.
Right. I'll say exactly 5 days, 9 different sites in 4 different states. Right. And what we were doing is looking for future homes of Hounds Town USA. So we're expanding pretty rapidly because we have a business model that works. Because it works because it's simple. We don't complicate things. What we do is bridge the gap of what humans think their dogs need, and then we provide them what dogs really need. And that's what we do, day in, day out. As I said, since our inceptions, we've taken care of over 1 million, approaching 1.5 million dogs. Doggy daycare, boarding, overnight boarding, and grooming services. So, and what we're finding now, we've been doing this for 20 years. We've never breed discriminated. We never did. Now we're noticing some of our competitors, we won't mention their names, they're starting to smarten up and realize every dog is a dog, regardless of its stereotypical, like Petey from the Little Rascals, a Pit Bull, Rin Tin Tin, for those of you who's a German Shepherd, et cetera, et cetera. So, anyway, what's the status of our battery? Is it on its
It's
way?
en route, yes.
It's en route. I don't know if you can hear us or not on Facebook. So here we have, introduce our dogs that we have here today. What are we doing today? What the hell's going on here?
So we have Rosie and Squirt again. We were just in an expo. I don't know if you went over that while I was outside.
Talk about that. Danielle was there. What happened? We went yesterday to the World Expo.
Yeah, it was very cool. A lot going on.
Where was it?
It was in the Meadowlands in Jersey.
Okay. So just talk a little bit about it. What were we doing here?
So pretty much we were just, well, you were bringing awareness, to people taking rescue dogs home that think, that they need to play into that backstory that they have, and just managing a dog, not anything crazy. There was of course acts there doing crazy agility and jumping through hoops and stuff like that, which is great, but your aspect was more of just being able to take a dog home and manage a dog, especially a rescue dog, whatever their past was. And it's not hard, it's not complicated, it's very simple.
Right. So that's what we did yesterday, and I thought we did a reasonably good job. When you realize, if you were on Facebook and watch our demonstration later, Danielle, how long have you had your dog Squirt?
About 3 weeks now.
Right, so this is kind of amazing. I think this is a rescue dog, Squirt. He's how old? 5 months?
5 months.
He's cute as a button, and you'll see what she's done with him. And you haven't really worked hard at this, right? It's not like you work hours and hours a day.
No, just here and there.
And you just
couple-
try to adjust your lifestyle a little
Yeah.
bit, so he adapts to you. So we're gonna play around with that. So I have friends in Florida. Well, I don't know about friends, but I have,
Associates.
Associate, I like to call them friends. But my friend Tom Sullivan's in Ocala, and his mom is actually a listener, Joan Sullivan. Oh, so yeah, she listens. My friend Todd, and of course we have our new franchisees in Orlando, Florida. And that's gonna be really cool too. So yeah, we looked at 3 sites in Orlando. We're opening 3 locations down there, and they're gonna be really cool. Then I have my friend Scott in West Palm Beach, and we have this ongoing debate about therapy dogs, and there's different statuses, right? There's emotional support dogs, there's therapy dogs, and there's service dogs. So
Right.
Scott and I, he's gonna come on the show in the next time we can have him, and we're gonna have our conversation. So obviously, I love dogs. I'm just against making a cottage industry out of dogs. So now we have emotional support dogs. That means you can go online, and for $150, there's no training involved, there's nothing. You could get an emotional support dog with a certificate. That means you can go on any airline, any place. It's really annoying. The next category is therapy dogs. Now, therapy dogs, as my friend Scott was explaining, are trained to go into courtrooms, and they're a higher level, and they require a high level of training. And I almost disagree with that a little bit, because I just want dogs to be dogs. I don't want them to go into a courthouse and have to sit there and so forth, but we can debate that. The third category is service dogs, seeing eye dogs, dogs that alert people to diabetes and epilepsy. And I don't know about all that. I question its reliability, and I always ask myself, is there a technology available that can do what you're asking a poor dog to do? So,
Well, a lot of these dogs that, as far as what we were researching on our drive the other day, these dogs that are alerting to diabetes, they're not really sensing anything in the human as much. They're just alerting to when the people fall down. So
right.
people with epilepsy and everything like that, the dogs are just alerting to other people when the owner
Right,
falls down.
right,
if
it's
they're in the
like a
bathroom.
false narrative, that's what and it's not reliable. And so necessarily, there's people listening, if it's reliable, give me a call, but I think there's other technology. When we use a dog, for example, for stability, we have stability dogs, so we take a German Shepherd or something, and we use it, so for a person like me, can fall down, a 70-pound dog, I'll use this for stability. I think that's ridiculous, because I could use a walker, a wheelchair, so there's devices, right? To pick up keys, there's devices you can pick up keys with. You can open your refrigerator with devices. Squirt, does Squirt have to squirt? Is that?
No, he sees Rosie and wants to play with her.
Oh, they have a little romance going on.
Well,
So for
sorry.
those of you who can't see, Rosie and Squirt, let's take the Facebook thing. We're gonna be going on a break. Hopefully our battery will be back by our second break. And if you stay with us, folks, we're gonna do an interesting demonstration. I think we have 2 therapy dogs here. I think we've done this in 2 weeks. I think they can pass the therapy test. whatever it is, I'm gonna challenge my friend Scott, and you tell me what it is. He mentioned a wheelchair today.
Oh, is that why we have a
That's why we have a
wheelchair? Got it, got it, got
So
it.
we got a wheelchair, simple. So my point is, keep it simple. Dogs are simple, they're not psychiatrists, they're not physically capable of stabilizing a 220-pound person. So it just gets me a little bit, it gets me, because I like dogs to just have fun, like children. We wouldn't rely on a 3 or 4-year-old child to do any of these things, so why would we do this to a poor dog? But we can debate it. What else is going on, Ashley?
Otherwise, besides that, we're doing a lot of training with Pittsburgh, so hopefully they'll be open at a grand opening soon, right?
When you say that, what does that mean, training in Pittsburgh? Our
Well, our franchisees are training here.
Right.
They're
so-
from Pittsburgh.
Right, so we do
So
a
they're
lot of,
starting
things.
their
So
training.
these are a great couple of guys, they're fantastic actually, really good, great sense of humor, and they opened it up on Pittsburgh location. They were too tired to come tonight, I wanted them to
They
come.
barely made it through training.
They're barely right.
Listen to you for 8 hours.
Yeah, you gotta listen to me, it's horrible, I feel sorry for people. We're gonna take a break for 2 minutes, stay with us, and then we're gonna get back on track. Ashley's gonna keep me on track, and so is Danielle, because that's one of my reviews. I'm very bad, big mouth, talk too much, and never answer questions. We'll do that after the break. All right, what's happening?
John is on his way here.
All right, so you're gonna talk about the summer problems.
Yes.
You guys are gonna have to talk about it.
He's like obsessed with Rosie.
Right, yeah. All right, that was nice.
Yeah.
So maybe right before the second break, you can go outside and get ready. You know, play around with her a little bit. I like everything that you did. Were you doing any work with her going?
Yeah, yeah.
And
It's easier for her to roll on there. It's good, good thinking.
Facebook people, I don't know if you can hear me. Danielle, you forgot the battery. She has reasons. She had a tough couple of weeks, so if it was Ashley who forgot the battery,
It's over.
right, it would be over. It may have been Ashley. I'm not sure if Danielle's nice enough to cover for her. I'm not sure about all this. I'm not
You
sure.
can still hear.
Oh, you can?
Yeah.
All right.
Oh yeah, it's a lot. Well, the first week we didn't have this mic. And
Alright, I
you
get
saw
it.
it.
Alright, so I don't have to fire Danielle.
Oh.
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 Oh, Danielle, yeah, she's a sweetheart. All right, so now Squirt, you're gonna see, if you can bear with me. Honestly, I promise to answer. Hey, by the way, I'm not gonna say who it was, but somebody commented that playing this in my lobby is a waste of time. I know who you are. I know who you are. And actually, I disagree with you. So some people do like it, you might not. All right, anyway. That's that. We're taking a break, get back. We're gonna talk about heat exhaustion. Heat exhaustion. We're gonna stay focused. I'm not gonna talk so much.
You did good the first half.
I don't know. I feel like I'm all over the place. I'm tired.
Get your brain on.
I got my human brain on. Let's see.
20.
Everyone, we can hear you.
All right,
Everyone's
good.
commenting because you keep asking.
Because I had a panic attack, so.
In 5, 4, 3.
Welcome back, everybody. Welcome back. I'm your host, Mike Gould. You're listening to The Dish on Dogs. This is sponsored by Hounds Town USA, home to the absolute happiest dogs on earth, with 24 locations in 6 states, I think. I don't know. I can't keep track. And you know, I'm very proud of my staff. For those of you who are watching on Facebook, this is my staff. Ashley does a lot of training. You're going to see in a little while the fine work Danielle does. So they're amazing. So when I talk, I know I'm also one of the criticisms, I'm an egotistical buffoon. But when I say, and I am those things, but my staff makes things happen. Our president, of course, Hounds Town Harry. That's not the right.
That's not nice.
What's her name?
Jackie.
Jackie, I'm sorry. I had a long day. I'm frazzled. I'm an old man. Notice if you're looking on Facebook Live, you see I have my human brain on. Why do I have that? Because when we're dealing with dogs, you have to be bilingual. They don't have this big neocortex. and I know I'm repetitive, but this is important. They don't have thumbs, they don't have a neocortex, and they don't stand erect like human beings. So when you're talking with dogs and interacting with dogs, you have to take your human brain off and deal and use your mammalian brain. Okay, so the topic of tonight's show, what is it?
So it's summer safety tips between, your dog, and I think there's a little things that everyone should be aware of, especially when you're going to these other locations down south that, a lot of came up about having the dogs
definitely.
outside.
Right.
With these newer locations.
Right, well, here's the funny thing, folks, you're listening out there, the temperature has shot up really quick, right? It jumped in the last 3 weeks about 30 degrees on average. So dogs take a while to adapt, number one, to changes in climate. So, and the other thing is, like with our doggy daycare, everybody wants outside areas, outside areas, outside areas. And the fact of the matter is, outside areas in extreme cold and extreme heat is actually dangerous and detrimental. So for all of those people in the Northeast, for example, we have very cold winters and we have hot summers. So there's very few mild days that dogs really should be out. And so talk about what did you come up with regarding heat exhaustion and so forth?
So pretty much, the couple tips we have is, like you were saying, these newer locations, when it's 100 degrees outside, your dogs don't want to play outside. So that's, I think, one of the big misnomers. A lot of our customers come in and they're like, oh, my dog wants to play outside today. It's like,
Right.
but they don't.
Right.
It's too hot.
Right.
Even 65, 70 degrees, when they're running around in a pack of dogs,
Right.
they'd rather be inside with the AC.
Right, at least in the cold,
Right.
Right. And
They'd rather be running in the snow
right.
than running out in the heat in the summer.
Of course. So dogs, of course, do much better in colder weather than they do in.
And the funny thing is, during the summer, we're pretty much have all our daycare groups inside most of the time.
Right.
Anything over,
Right,
70,
well, think of a
75
school.
degrees.
Think of a school. Well, obviously they're not in session in the summer, but on hot days, military stops operate. Everything stops physical activity because it's
Right.
dangerous. It's very dangerous, and certain dogs are more short-nosed dogs. Your pugs and your bulldogs.
In the South, they close school earlier. They change their summer break different than ours.
Right, because of the heat.
The heat.
Because of the heat. So how about Danielle? Talk about, she loves this part. Talk about what is this heat, the symptoms? Like what is the symptom of a dog being in distress?
They throw up, they have diarrhea, they could basically pass out, and then panting a lot and stuff like that. So you just have to look out for those signs, because if you don't catch them immediately, it could be fatal.
Exactly. So you do have to be in tune with that, and that's a greater responsibility for us also. We have to
Right.
take that into consideration, but just so you know, if your dog is overweight, if he's older, he's more susceptible to these types of...
Or those bulldogs, pugs.
right,
that short
short-nosed
nose.
dogs,
Dogs
right.
with longer hair too. 'Cause they
Exactly, so I have
They're
a...
not bred to be in
Right.
this temperature.
So I have a St. Bernard at home, and he wants to lay on cold tile in front of the refrigerator. That's where he wants to be. He doesn't want to be outside at all.
No.
Even in this, and on top of that, they have their winter coat that they're getting rid of now. So it's really, we can kind of adapt. You can put on clothes, you can take off clothes, you can jump in the shower, you can take a cold glass of water. What's happening over there?
He's
Squirt's,
got too much
trying to
energy
do
right
funny
now.
things for Rosie. I don't know how this happened. I mean, anyway. Yeah, so you gotta look for signs of these things. Panting is a big one. If they're lethargic, they're gonna be, here's the problem, is they're gonna be lethargic anyway because it's too hot for them to do anything. So the point is, keep them inside and cool. If you see that they really are shutting down, because again, some of these dogs can shut down pretty quickly, what's the first aid for something like that? Professor?
Cooler area, anything to lower the body temperature, so, cool rags, anything like that. Of course, offering them water.
Right.
I wouldn't give them freezing water because it could shock their system, but, and then of course taking them to the vet immediately.
Right.
So you're better off safe than sorry on something like that.
Yeah, but it's common sense. So in other words, if you see your dog is hot and he's panting and he's laying down, he's not too active, then you immediately have to just get water on top of him as quick as possible, whether it's a hosed water or you take wet blankets and put them on, but you gotta cool their body temperature down ASAP. The other part is we forget. I'm not guilty of it, but I could be. It's very simple to forget now because we just spent the last 3 months with the heat in the car on, right? You didn't have windows open, so now if you drive around with your dog a lot, which I do, I take Rosie around quite a bit. She sits on my front seat, and she's such a wonderful passenger. she doesn't bark, she doesn't do anything, so you could easily be, listen, humans do it with children, they're babies, right? They forget we're running around, we have a lot on our mind, you have a baby or a dog in the car, you forget about them. It's heartbreaking when I hear these stories because obviously these aren't murderers, these aren't evil people, but they forgot, and it's obviously something they got to live with for the rest of their lives. But it happens, and it will. Here's the shame: not only does it happen, it will happen. Sadly, this year, kids are going to die in cars, and dogs are going to die in cars. And I don't want to be the one that forgot my Rosie and ran in. So how do we keep the windows open? Keep the windows open. Don't rely on your air conditioning. In the police cars, we used to have alarm systems that if the car, because what if you have your air conditioning on and your car stalls? So a lot of people will run in the store and leave the dog in the back and turn on the air conditioning. That's great, unless the car stalls. So you have to be super careful because the car, it's like, with the windows, obviously, it's like a magnifying glass, and the dogs really shut down quickly.
Yeah.
All right, what else you got, Professor?
Well, Corey.
Uh-oh. Corey, our friend Corey, he just flew in. Oh, no, he drove.
He drove, yeah, he's
horrible
exhausted.
traffic.
But he just messaged, he just made a comment here on Facebook and said, is my dog a diva because we put ice cubes in his water and we only use filtered water now?
Oh, boy. He's a lost cause.
Yeah, yes. He thought you were a genius when he first came.
Right.
I'm going to put all this into effect. I'm a bad dog.
Right.
Now we got
Now
ice
he's
cubes
putting
and
ice
filtered
cubes.
water.
Oh, my Lord. All right, yeah, no, Corey. Just nice, good old-fashioned tap water, tempered tap water, right out of the garden hose. Yeah, definitely. So, yeah, it's funny because obviously I'm older than most everybody, and, drinking out of a garden, there was no such thing as bottled water. I'm not sure bottled water, who the hell makes sure that bottled water is any better than my tap water from
Well, I
Ron
wonder if the stuff that they clear it with
I
is
don't
actually good for you to
I don't buy any
drink.
of it. I don't buy it, I'm sorry.
Amazing.
So that's the tip, the theme. Don't regret leaving your dog in the car. Just open the windows. If it was turned into 100 degrees and God forbid you forgot the door, and as long as there's air circulation. So, but if you close the windows and lock the dogs, you might as well have, that's it. You don't want that. So, and again, if you see a dog or your dog is having an episode of heat exhaustion, just get him under cold water, any water, just water to lower his body temperature as fast as you can and take him to the vet. Okay, that's the tip. The weathers. Every season changes represents something different for the dogs, but this is for the summer. And dogs rely completely on you, They they need you for everything. We're going to take a break, and when we come back, we got a minute or two. When we come back, we're going to do our demonstration. We have our new therapy dogs, and at least in training. And I challenge my friend Scott Brezzolier that whatever your dogs can do, our dogs can do. And they're little mutts from the shelters, and I'd say 90% of dogs can do what we do in a very short order. So again, let's see, what else? You guys go take your dogs out.
Going out?
Yeah, you go out, we'll catch up with you. Here's our engineer, our assistant engineer, producer with batteries. Turns out, John, we didn't need the batteries after all. No.
Are you serious?
Hate to break it to
Well,
you.
supposedly people can hear us, so replace them. And then you're gonna take your iPad, we're gonna go outside. There's something else I wanted to talk about. Oh, we're gonna talk after the break also, after the 7-minute break, our contest, the world's craziest dog contest, where we're gonna give away free dog training. Free, I say free dog training for the craziest dog in the United States. And if you send in videos of your dog to us, we're gonna have a celebrity contest, celebrity judges. I'm the biggest celebrity, so, and then John's the second celebrity. All right, come back after 7 minutes. Facebook people, just stay with us. We're gonna walk outside and see what we can get our therapy dogs to do or not to do. That is the question. Stay with us. All right, let's go, Facebook. Let's go. Is that working, you think?
Yeah, it's working. It's on.
Let's go out there. Let's see. Let me take some toys. They have some. All right, so here we are. And again, the airport is as distracting as any place, I would argue, as distracting as a nursing home. Here's my wheelchair, and there's my therapy dogs over there. So first they got to get used to the wheelchair, right? And it is distracting. Any dogs react to movement and sound. Movement and sound. Movement and sound. So let's make some movement. So my dogs, this is a dying animal, and this is the movement. Now notice my beautiful staff is relaxed. Here I come through. And when I ask my staff, notice the dogs are in their place. They're in their place. No energy. Look at Danielle. Look at, obviously they're supervising the dogs. We're at an airport. This is crazy here. There's a PA system, windows, carpet, tile. So what I want Ashley to do is just get low and call her dog. The dog goes to go. Danielle will get low. Her dog will come to her. And then they're just going to heel around a little bit. I'm going to follow them. You follow each other. So heeling means just walk around without pulling. No tension. No tension. The dog stays on the left. That's zooming Rosie. Here comes zooming Grandpa. No distractions. Keep making left. Notice how Squirt looks at Danielle, and look at how beautiful Rosie is looking. We're going in circles, circle, circle. And then, as they go, they're going to slow down, and they're going to come to a stop. Squirt's going to sit. Obviously, Rosie can't sit. She has no legs. Let's get with the program. This, by the way, is done for not food. Do you see how Squirt's looking at Danielle? It's not for food. They're going to just step out with their left, and they're going to walk. There's no talking. There's no looking, talking, or touching. And then they're going to go and place them onto their place. That's what we call it. We tell them to go place. Look at how excited. Go fast. Have fun. We're not beating the spirits out of dogs. This is why I'm not a big fan of this. These are happy doggies. This is the only place in the universe they get food. Does that make sense? Okay. So this is our demonstration. I got to keep an eye on it. Then I'm going to put Grandma Danielle in her wheelchair. And she's going to take all of our therapy. So get in here, Grandma. Did you put this on, or you rather not? All right, she doesn't want to. Okay, we'll save this for another time. I'll wear it. All right, so get your dog on your lap. Just pick a leash. Help her, just help. Pick her up. She's not jumping yet. She will. Hey, listen.
That's next week.
She's only 5 months old, this dog.
Why don't you put the mask on?
I'm the old man. I'm her husband. She's like Jackie. She likes older men. All right. You can walk over here.
Yeah.
And watch how we're going to do this, folks. PA system. She's going to hold the leash. Up, yeah, treats. Oh, and here we go. Here we go. Da-da-da. We got Zoom and Rosie. We gotta get to our flight. On terminal. Notice there's no tension. Up, we gotta stop through security. We gotta stop. We're online. TSA.
The transportation security demonstration has limited access.
Okay, then Ashley, obviously you hear that squeaking distraction. Hey, you take Rosie, and then we're going to put Squirt down, put him on your legs. I'm having a heart attack in my bed. Watch him get relaxed. Here we go. Nice and relaxed. I can go fast. Whee! Oh, I lost your breath. I come this way. Now with Squirt has to sit when we stop. Ask him. He sits. This is hugely distracting. Now, we're done, so she has to do things, so we're going to have her place Squirt on his place. Now, here we have Grandma, Grandpa, Squirt.
Squirt, Rosie. We're a mess here, but it's all balanced energy, and it doesn't matter what's happening here. Let me get the squeaky toy. Then we gotta get back on the ring. Now you know damn well, folks, your dog at home, you can't do this. 3 minutes. That's how we communicate. Squirt, our 5-month-old dog that was rescued. When we go back in, I want to explain where this dog came from and what this training entails. Nothing. Now I'm going to ask Ashley to walk away. I'm going to ask you to heel and stand. And then I want you to come and shake hands with me. Bye. Relax. I want Danielle to join us. Notice they're not looking, they're not telling the dog to do anything. Now when we want that, get back over. When we're ready, they're just going to turn to the dogs, get low, and they're going to come through. Fine, go ahead. This is nothing. It's so easy, you can't do it. Let's go inside. Good work, guys. That was really good. What a nice job. And then we'll talk about setting behavior, shaping behavior rather than rehabilitating behavior. All right, that was great. I mean, come on, you can't ask for better than that. And I want to talk to you about really how this came about. You had the dog for 3 weeks and you're not working on him with him like 5 hours. You're doing such simple, consistent things. All you're doing is being consistent. Ugh. Did you get your new battery?
Yep. We're back in business.
We're back in business.
3.
Welcome back, everybody. Welcome back to the Dish on Dogs. I'm your host, Mike Gould. We're on Facebook Live tonight, as we try to be almost every Monday night at 8 o'clock for all of our friends. We have our friend Joan Sullivan listening. We have new listeners. Even though my reviews suck, my ratings, we have more listeners every day. Maybe they want to tune in to hear how bad I suck, which is fine. Whatever, just tune in. Who's listening? Doug?
Doug Michaels, yep, he's a customer with his dog Luna.
Okay, good. And Luna,
We have Rachel Stanton.
wait, is
also
Luna a
watching.
therapy? Like, did I offend Doug at all, or?
No.
Oh, okay. I don't want to do that. I apologize. Sooner
I
or
mean,
later.
not that I know of.
Not
but-
that I know. Sooner or later, I'm going to piss somebody off, and I don't mean to. I'm just really just giving my simple thoughts. It's just my opinion, just mine. Everybody has their own opinions, and we're entitled to that. So anyway, we just did a demonstration for the people that were listening at home and don't have Facebook, and it was pretty amazing. So most importantly, we have a 2-legged dog named Rosie in a wheelchair. We have a 5-month-old dog named Squirt, who was rescued recently, and Danielle's had him for 3 weeks.
Yep.
And when we talk about training, I think what you just did was very impressive, as did the people at the World Expo in Jersey.
Yeah, you had a couple fans.
We have I got some groupies.
Yeah, you might got a couple phone numbers.
I got some phone numbers. They live at a senior citizen center in Boca Raton, but whatever. That's okay. And yeah. So, but here's the point. So these are what you see us do is so simple. We're not asking the dog to high five. We're not asking the dog to roll over. We're teaching simple tasks. Go to one place and stay there. So one of the things you'll see, and I think you'll agree, Danielle, is it's much easier to shape behavior. So if Squirt, who's new in her home, it's only 5 months old, so if it goes and sleeps in its crate every night, or if it goes on that mat every night, and if it never pulls on a leash, it's never going to pull on a leash. So, Ashley, I see is texting away.
No, I'm checking all our Facebook. We're getting a lot of.
We're getting a lot of what?
Yeah.
Criticisms?
No, people are watching.
All right, people are watching.
Jackie also gives Canito ice cubes in his water bowl.
Oh, all right, so.
Your
I'm
house.
not gonna lie, I do it too. I don't say anything.
Yeah. No, so here's the other part to this. Here's the other part to this story. I'm telling you things that in a perfect world, just like we would give our children fruit and vegetables every day, but a lot of times, we don't. So I'm just saying what's right. But some things are, all I'm saying is think of a dog. So of course ice cubes, of course a dog, you want them up in
Sometimes
bed.
like chew on the ice cubes.
Yeah, right.
It's
So
fun.
I'm not making fun of Corey. I just tried to. I wanted to.
Well,
make
Corey was
fun.
making fun of you earlier, so.
Oh, okay, so I'm glad I said that. So no, of course, but actually putting a Kong in ice is a nice thing to do for them. If you take
Yeah.
a Kong, put it in the freezer in a bucket, and let them work on it, of course. But here's what I'm telling you, folks. Common sense thing. Somebody texted me. Just dogs navigate with their paws. Their paws, for those of you down south. How do you say paws in down south? Y'all, paws? Paws. So if you're familiar with paws,
We say pause.
yeah, we say paws. So dogs navigate with their paws, meaning they use their pads. You'll notice they have to be very careful where they put their foot down. They just don't indiscriminately run someplace. That's why they don't fall off cliffs. They don't get themselves in trouble because they're very careful in how they navigate with their paws.
And they sweat from their paws.
And they sweat, that's another important point. Actually, the Professor Ashley pointed out to me, I was always curious how thoroughbred white horses in this heat. But as you said, they sweat through their whole
The
body.
whole body, yeah, they can cool down quicker than a
Right,
dog can.
right, which is important. I didn't know this, I learned. So, yeah, dogs only
All these racehorses on
sweat.
the track run
Right.
and exercise,
And the
all
reason
morning.
this highly intellectual conversation came up, we were driving through Ocala, Florida to visit
like 100
friends.
degrees.
It was 100
In
degrees,
May.
and that's horse country down there.
Yeah.
And I said, Professor, how come they're not, in heat exhaustion? But she explained how they sweat their entire
They
body.
can if they're overworked and they can't.
Right.
Same thing.
But compared to a dog, it's nothing, because as Danielle brought to my attention today, I kind of knew this, that the dogs sweat through their mouths, any place where there's open skin, between their pads, right, their
Yeah,
paws,
their paw pads are.
and mostly their mouth. They exhale and pant. So, what's my point? Oh, so going back to touching things. So just think about a manhole cover, right, or a grate, or your patio deck. Everything heats up differently. Dirt and grass are going to heat up differently than your patio deck. Maybe you have slate. Maybe, obviously, if you take a dog like to the railroad station, they'll automatically jump over manhole covers.
Yeah.
They won't put their feet on them. The manhole cover might be 20 or 30 degrees hotter than the asphalt. So remember, put yourself in the dog's place. He's 18 inches off the ground. He's sucking in carbon monoxide, because this time of year, carbon monoxide, I don't know, does it dissipate or concentrate? I don't know. We need somebody to tell us. But the bottom line is carbon monoxide stay lower to the ground or higher to the ground. All I know is this. Car mufflers are on the ground pushing out carbon monoxide. And where are the dog's little nose? Right down on the ground. So take your dog into consideration what its needs are, not your needs. Don't project what you need. If you took my poor St. Bernard and you want to put a sweater on him, that's weird. He wants to be in ice cold weather. So think about that. Dogs are natural creatures living in an unnatural world. They are closer to a wolf than they are human. And I ask this question all the time. You look at a dog, and dogs have been around, as Danielle knows, for how many years, dogs? Just to keep our...
They were domesticated around 15,000 years
Right.
ago.
So we've been living with them as human and man, or man and dog, for 15,000 years. And they're not much different now than they were. Obviously, people do mutations. They breed one dog to another. But fundamentally, they haven't grown thumbs. They don't stand erect. They can't do anything without you. They can't open the door. That's why they're there. I'm guessing if dogs had thumbs and they could stand up and open the door, they'd run away and run to their local shelter and turn themselves in, and it'd be better. Not my customers. This is not Hounds Town customers, but your average pet owner, what I call your average vampires. They're very loving. They project their needs onto the dog, and it's a shame, and it's sad sometimes. That's why when I see a pack of dogs at Hounds Town USA, we take their sweaters off, we take whatever they have, and they hump, jump, and dump without getting screamed at, without getting squirted with water. We don't throw cans of pennies at them, and it's exciting. And then they go home nice and balanced and nice and tired until the drama of your doorbell, until the doorbell rings or the vacuum cleaner starts, and they go back into a state of insanity. All right, what else are we going to talk about?
Well, we have our competition, our contest. World's Craziest Dog Contest is now posted on Facebook. So hopefully we'll get some inflow of that.
Yeah, well, here's the story. The World's Craziest Dog. What we want to do is take a dog, you do a 1 or 2 minute video of your dog. Whatever it's crazy, you ring the bell, the dog goes crazy. You're walking it down the street, he sees another dog. Whatever it is that's unmanageable. Barking out the window of your car. These are all very common and simple problems. So our contest, how long is this going to go for?
It's probably going to go towards the end of June,
Around
right?
June 30th.
June 30th? So you only have 30 days to get this together, folks. So you take the video.
Well, it's quick. It's not like they have to do all.
No, but you got to catch them. Dogs can't, perform on cue. So you have to set it up. You have to have somebody ring the doorbell. You got to have them perform the bad behavior, because we're going to base the contest on the dog that's most outrageous, and
Right.
we're going to give away a free 12-day boot camp,
Yep.
which is worth almost $2,000.
Yeah.
So that's the deal. And then maybe for second place, we'll throw in a private lesson, and then of course we'd like them on the show to be before and
And
after.
a third place is for 1 free day daycare.
Okay, third place is 1 free day. Make it 2. What the hell? Make it 2 free day of daycare.
That was a disagreement with the president.
Oh, the president.
I have to put that
Okay,
in
we
before
can't.
end.
Right, she might not be authorized to say.
Well,
that.
we can compromise it too. It was 3, so.
All right. So the point of the matter is we want to demonstrate how simple it was. So if you see these dogs on Facebook now, you think that we're training them for hours a day. We don't do anything. That's the point. We're just consistent. We don't look, talk, and touch constantly. We don't let the dog suck the life out of us, the emotional life out of us. Leave that to your children. They'll do that. Fine. You don't need dogs to do it. So then, that's it. The World's Craziest Dog Contest. We don't care where they're from, any of our franchisees in Pittsburgh, wherever. We'll pay for their transportation. They'll come to 12 days of our boot camp, and you will video the process and put it on somewhere, Facebook.
Yeah, Facebook.
And our YouTube channel.
Yeah, YouTube channel also will be on there.
Yeah, so for those of you who want to know what we do and how we keep it so simple, if you go to our YouTube channel and do you
Oh, yeah.
Hounds Town, how do you do
Yeah,
that?
Hounds Town USA. So if you go to YouTube and you just go on the search bar, Hounds Town USA, we have a whole channel on there. Anything from our charity work to our dog training to kind of funny videos at doggy daycare, everything's up there. So, and every dog, the funny thing is they all come with different sets of problems.
Yeah, of course.
But the training method is pretty much the
Right,
same.
no
And that's
matter
why
whether
you get
they're-
criticized for
Right.
repeating yourself,
Right.
but it's so
It's all the
simple.
same, so I have to repeat myself. A dog is a dog. Listen, we're going to take a break. The next segment, we're going to talk about why humans suck. Oh, no, we're going to talk about our charity. We're going to talk about something. We're definitely going to talk. I'm going to repeat myself over and over again and never answer any questions. That's what I do. That's what I do
That's what he
best.
does best.
What's that?
That's what you do best.
Oh my God!
Way to leave him on more, Mike.
Right.
For the record, the closest CVS was just as far as the closest
Hounds Town.
Hounds Town.
Yeah.
Well, what about a 7-Eleven? Whatever. It's all done.
It was the closest.
You did a
7-Eleven
good
was
job, all right?
The one right by Hounds
It's
Town.
fine. You don't have to.
We're
You're still in
good.
trouble either way.
We're good.
Why?
No, he's not. He
I was
bailed
only
on
saying
you.
that because it's on Facebook, actually. I am.
Oh, right.
Just-
We gotta watch on Facebook. We gotta get into a marital dispute. How's Steven? If we're on Facebook, is Steven watching?
He's not watching.
Oh, man.
Wow.
I didn't tell him I was here.
You didn't?
No, he has no idea.
What if he goes looking for you?
How does he not know
What are you ashamed?
Yeah,
No,
well,
I just.
you're gonna bring him down here one day. Does he have a
wants-
dog?
No.
All right.
He has cats.
All right, well,
That's the enemy.
He's the enemy of the people. He's the
Love
enemy
our
of Hounds
cat.
Town.
I'm
No,
working on
More
getting
than
a
the
dog.
dogs.
no. Tell him to come down here next week.
Favor my cat, actually.
Debbie Topol she has a Oliver, the golden retriever. He just did training at her house.
Uh-oh.
She is watching also.
Yeah, what is she saying? How's the training
Nothing.
going?
She just said hi, Mike.
Hi, how's the training going? How's Oliver?
And Bruno's dad's also watching.
Bruno, great,
We
great.
got a nice turnout.
We got wonderful customers. Hounds Town customers are the best because they know that we just straightforward pet care. They trust us, number one, which is very flattering, of course.
20 seconds.
All right, let's talk about our wonderful customers. We're going to talk about all of our wonderful customers. Okay? Nothing like scotch in your coffee, folks.
5, 4, 3.
Welcome back, everybody. Welcome back to the Dish on Dogs. I'm your host, Mike Gould. We're broadcasting live on the radio and online and on Facebook. So that's the good thing. If you're not in our listening area for 103.9 FM, you can listen pretty much anywhere where there's internet service. Is that correct?
Yeah, that is
How do you do it?
So they can go on Facebook, Hounds Town Radio. We also post the videos, so if you guys miss it, it's obviously still going to be on our Facebook page, but you can also check us out on YouTube. All the past shows are on there, on our channel,
All
Hounds Town
right, so
USA.
it's easy to access. It's fun. You know, if you missed the show, you can watch them on YouTube channel or on
Yeah,
Facebook.
are on the Facebook. It's still on there.
All right. All right, so shout out to Joan Sullivan, my newest BFF down there in Ocala. She's got a wonderful son who has a jerk for a friend. No, he doesn't. Not me, Todd. But anyway, all right, let's never mind that. So anyway, we have a surprise for Todd, right?
I can't wait.
We can't wait to
Does
lay
he
that
listen
up.
to the show?
No, he's probably in bed by now. He lives in Florida. It's the, you know. Anyway, this is like 2 o'clock in the morning in Florida, in Ocala. Look at Danielle, she's
I know, she's trying to-
So I have this amazing ability to put people to sleep. If this show has no value at all except to put people to sleep, that's a pretty good value, right? So there's no medication, maybe a bottle of wine, and you just listen to my voice and listen to me repeat myself and listen to me babble, 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 and soon you'll close your eyes and you'll be in a very deep sleep. You don't care about dogs, you don't care about anything, you'll go into a deep sleep. All right, so let's talk about our wonderful customers, because I kind of do, I gotta be honest with you, I like dogs better than humans. I really mean that, including my children, they all know that. Not my granddaughter yet, she's only 6 months old, so I like her better than most humans. But our customers, honestly, we have a family. It's not just customers at Hounds Town USA. It's a family of people we know intimately because they're on their second, third, fourth generation dogs. They've been literally customers of ours for 20 years. Obviously, their dogs haven't, but they have. And they really are like family to us, you know. And the big thing is, and we take this responsibility very seriously, they trust us with their dogs. And, you know, things happen, you know, dogs are dogs, children are children, accidents do happen, and every once in a while, a dog will go home with a puncture, because as I always try to show people, dogs have 4 canine teeth. The canine teeth are designed to bite into and rip skin. So when dogs play rough, or they do get into a little dispute, it's not uncommon that they get a puncture. So I want to thank my customers. I also wanted to talk a little bit about kennel cough. Kennel cough is this time of year. We had about 10 cases or 7 to 10 cases down in at one of our locations. It's not an insidious, deadly disease. It's like a common cold. It doesn't require any special medicine except cough suppressant. Many, many times it's misdiagnosed. So this time of year also there's a lot of dog allergies. Danielle was saying her dog has allergies.
There's pollen all over.
Pollen all over.
cars.
So the dogs are sneezing and coughing. You run your dog to the vet, and they're going to give you something. They're going to charge you $100 for the visit and charge you for medication. Sometimes dogs are chewing. What did you say your dog was chewing?
He likes to eat mulch and rocks and sticks and
Right.
everything outside.
Right. So you might hear him hacking a little bit. And kennel cough does happen. It exists. Of course it does. But so does a flu. So I.
It's a common cold at a school.
Right, so if you go to Disney World and somebody sneezes on Southwest Airlines, you don't sue the airline, you really, there's nothing to do. Of
Some
course,
people don't even go to the doctor for it.
who goes to the doctor for a cold or flu? No one. I don't know anybody who does, unless you're a hypochondriac, right? And it goes away. Now, with that said, I'm not giving medical advice, because some cases of kennel cough, just like cases of the flu,
You
turn
need like a
into
CPAP,
pneumonia.
you know, something
Well, they
like
turn
that.
into pneumonia. But oftentimes, it's just, and just the name kennel cough, it sounds like dirty, like our kennel's not clean.
Right.
But it has nothing to do with that. It's airborne. That means it's aerosol. When the dog barks.
There's no, it's not like if you don't have a clean facility.
Exactly.
And, you know, we were talking about it, you know, even at these expos, there's so many dogs there. And, you know, they tell you they require certain vaccines, but they're not checking. It would be crazy with that many dogs going in and out.
Well, I'm gonna give you a news alert coming in on the wire, news alert.
Oh, here we go.
News
It's the
alert.
same time, every episode.
News alert coming in on the wire from the researchers at Hounds Town University. Hounds Town University, the professors and researchers have found that the canine shot, the Bordetella vaccine, works only very rarely
It's like 17% of the time.
How many, Professor?
I'm pretty sure 17%.
17%. The point of the matter is, just like a flu shot, it's a preventative. It makes us feel warm and fuzzy. We do require that people have it, but it doesn't necessarily prevent it, or dogs would ever get sick. And I would take the kennel cough shot. If it worked 100%, I'd take the kennel cough shot. So my point is, it's just a thing that dogs get. When it happens to your children, nobody cares. If your kid starts sneezing when he comes home, you know he's got a cold, you take his temperature, maybe, I don't even know if you do that. And that's the end of it. We don't race him to the emergency room.
I think where people get more concerned is with babies, if they have the cold, the same thing as if a younger dog with a lower immune system got the cold.
Right, but
You
these
know,
are, and the
or
truth of the matter is.
Dogs, but same thing with an older dog, same
Right.
thing with an older person.
Right. And the truth is, I try to tell my clients, once the dog has it, it actually develops their immune system, just like
Right.
kids in kindergarten. They get
Well, it does
sick.
the same thing the vaccine does. All it's giving them is
A
pretty much like a
protection.
dose, so your immune
Exactly.
system can learn to fight against it.
Exactly. And the other part is, only 10% of the dogs you can sneeze in an infected dog can sneeze in the population of other dogs, and only a small percentage are going to get kennel cough. So it's just one of those things. It gets me a little bit, because sometimes humans, like, they react to kennel cough as though it was like leprosy or something, the plague, and they call us and they are like, oh my God, my dog got it. And the truth of the matter is, it's not our responsibility. Dogs get sick.
Right.
Children get sick.
And they have all new pet insurance now.
Get pet insurance, right, right. When you sign a kid up for sports, you usually get an extra insurance rider, I think. So if they play football or something, the school's not responsible to take your child to the emergency or the clinic when they get sick.
Right.
So it's just a funny kind of thing, kind of annoys me a little. But I understand it, where it's coming from, and if a dog gets a puncture or injured, you know, when it happens to your dog, just like my grandchildren, they get beat up doing jujitsu, and they get bloody noses and black eyes. That's part of being a 10-year-old child participating in these sports. But most of my customers, 99.9%, know that and understand it, and they're very nice about it, and they call and let us know, because we do want to know when a dog gets sick or injured or ill. We
I
want
mean,
to know.
around the barn, we have the joke that your initiation is falling off for the first time. So
Thank
you don't
you.
really ride horses, at least that's how it was with me.
Yeah, unless you fall off.
Yeah, until you fall off, you're not really
Right.
a horseback rider.
Well, that's a great analogy, actually. Horses, right? Thoroughbred racehorses, multi-million-dollar horses. They're in a barn at Belmont Stakes. Maybe you agree or disagree.
They rarely get turned out. I mean, they just go
Right.
out, they run.
Right, but they're in a stall.
Yeah.
It's not air conditioned, I don't think.
No.
There's
They'll put fans, but that's it.
Yeah.
But even that can turn into a fire hazard in a barn.
Right,
Hey,
exactly. Fire houses.
We keep the barn doors open and they hang out in there.
And they
It's a
got
little
right.
building.
And if you go behind the horse, I think they kick you, right? Or
Yeah,
if they
most
eat
of the
right.
time.
Right. So what's the answer? Don't go behind the horse. All right. So that's why I like dog people. Look, I'm the benefactor of the dog. You know, this whole new thing about, you know, in the last 50 years, how dogs have become not just they're like the fiber of our family. People treat their dogs better than they do their spouses and children. And I'm not lying. We see that all the time. John knows.
We might be guilty of that
Right.
ourselves.
So anyway, think about all the things we talked about. Next week's show, I have no clue what we're gonna talk about, but I promise, tell us, give me my reviews. I don't care if they're bad, as long as you listen to the show. If I've offended you,
It can be negative attention.
it can be, I thrive, ask Jackie, I thrive for negative attention. So, thanks for listening. Next week, we're gonna be live again, Monday
Yeah.
night. We'll
Yeah.
think of something to do. If somebody has an
We're
idea.
gonna try to develop Squirt. And
Oh,
Rosie
Squirt's
a
gonna
little
watch
bit
him
more.
squirt, right. All right. What'd I say?
It's like, we're gonna watch
What you said.
him
I
squirt.
don't know. This is 9 o'clock at night. I'm ready for bed. I'm gonna smoke a cigar. We're gonna,
Oh, Debbie, just last minute
Uh-oh.
there. She said that Albert's doing okay. I still have problems with him grabbing and humping. on
Albert's
people.
humping?
On people.
He's humping people? All right, we'll work on, bring Albert, maybe we'll work on Albert next week if he's humping people. I'll show him. That can get you in
We
trouble.
use Danielle.
We can use Danielle.
Dogs love to help me too.
Oh, all right. This conversation's turning sour. Dogs like to hump Danielle. I wish you would have said that on a job application. All right, see you next week, Monday at 8 p.m.